Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Catherine Eicher,
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up?
and this is episode 111, baby.
Woo! We did it. 111. Hey, make sure you follow us on all of your social media things at the Pickup WNBA podcast, Insta, YouTube, Twitter. Now it's becoming an ongoing thing. Soon to be
Blue
Blue
Sky.
Sky. We did that
Yeah.
with YouTube forever, and we got there.
We
So
did eventually. Yeah,
we
that's
did,
true.
Also, a very, very special guest today for this podcast. Catherine, do you want to take it away?
Yes, I got a puppy, everyone. I got a puppy. And if you're on the YouTube video, you can see her. This is Zelda. Or I'm trying to show you her. This is Zelda. Say hi, Zelda.
Hi, Zelda.
Zelda's a puppy, a Cavalier, King Charles Spaniel. She's 4 months. I just got her yesterday. So, and she's biting the button off my cardigan right now.
If you're not on YouTube, get on YouTube.
Yeah,
Check this little cutie out.
Yeah,
Catherine
she's so sweet. She's kind of sleepy right now. We'll see if she pops up later.
Perks up, riles up.
Yeah.
She seems chill. I mean, especially for a puppy.
For a puppy, she's very chill. Very chill for a puppy.
Right now, it's 1 minute and 25 seconds into the pod. I'm going to call 15 minutes in. She takes a shit on your laptop.
I will I will murder you if that comes true. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Right in the USB port. You're like, oh my God. It's not going to happen.
I'm praying that does not happen. I'm taking her out as soon as we finish because we changed our recording time. But anyway, so before we get into the wild week that was WNBA free agency, so much crazier than we anticipated, or I think most people anticipated. But before that, we gotta talk to our listeners about this survey that we've been asked. We've been asked to fill out, or asked our audience to fill out for us. Freddie, can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, so this is with the Sonar Network that we are. They are our lovely hosts, and also with Acast, who is I think I'm so bad with podcast terminology, but I think they're the
Sonar's our network,
domain?
and Acast is the podcast host. There you go.
Okay, there you go. So this is us trying to basically get a better idea of who listens to our podcasts. You know, like all podcasts, we are doing our best to make a little bit of dough on the side, and we would certainly prefer to have our listeners get ads that make sense for them versus just like whatever pops up in the random algorithm. I'm sure there will still be some random algorithm stuff, but anyhow, it would mean a lot to us if you could check out this survey, fill it out, and I think it would be cool also, Catherine, to kind of like read some of the feedback. It is all anonymous.
Oh, true.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of questions about us particularly, and like what people think about the W pod. Like how they consume the W, how they consume our podcast. What parts of it they like the most, what parts maybe they want to challenge us a little bit on. So, and we do get a lot of good feedback from our listeners anyhow. So I think this is just it's a cool opportunity for us, and we would really, really appreciate it if you let us know what you're thinking.
We're not the best at describing this, but basically we've reached the point of our podcast growth where people want to know more about us. And that's really exciting. So that's why these metrics are really important. And that's why we're trying to learn more about our audience in a way that is, data and that we can provide for people. And hopefully that can help us land real sponsors and stuff like that. So that's why that's really important for us. We're going to leave a link to this survey in the show notes, I imagine, for Spotify, and on YouTube in the description. So look out for that. We appreciate you all so much, and thank you in advance.
Thank you in advance. I also love that I was describing this, and then Catherine's like, we're not doing a great job at describing things, aka me
I do this
specifically.
all the time.
Some of us who are, if you're wearing a blue T-shirt, let's just say you're not great at describing things.
Well,
That's me.
you know how we are.
No, and I bebop and meander around. Speaking of bebopping and meandering around,
Yeah,
shall
let's
we
do
get
it.
going on this like this just like, by the way, this whole episode's going to be W trades and free agency because that much
There was
happened.
so much.
Like we're not even going to cover it all, and also it's still ongoing. So I mean,
Mhm.
where do you? Why don't you just pick a place to start, Catherine, and then we'll go.
Well, let's start with Kelsey Plum going to Seattle, or no, going to LA, sorry, and
Yes.
Jewel Lloyd from Seattle going to Vegas. That is the big shocker. And we were referencing that athletic article a bit last week, who hinted that there could be a Kelsey Plum Jewel Lloyd swap. And we were like, that's crazy. But now we live in the world where Luka got traded. So, like, yes,
Yes.
anything can
Yes.
happen. I don't know if I believe it was Asia Wilson who had a tweet that was like, wow, like the NBA looked at our mess and thought, I'll one up that.
That's so funny. By the way, I forget who tweeted this, but um, I love the terminology, like soft launch, and now people are saying like hard launch,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way they were talking about Asia
And
and Bam
bam.
hard launching their relationship. Like she had a big sort of to do at South Carolina, and
Yeah, her
she's
jersey retirement.
so she
Which she
fully
got a
like.
statue before she got her jersey retired.
I thought that was weird too. Like
I just assumed she already had her jersey retired. And
it's
then
yeah.
this happened, and I'm like, oh, they did the statue first.
I feel like the statue people were ready first. You know what I mean? They were like, everything was in the works, and the statue people were like, "We're done. Okay, we did the
They were
bronze.
already
We did the."
building the statue of like a canceled celebrity, and then they're like, you know what? We can quickly turn this into Asia.
We just did the finishing coat, and this thing needs to be unveiled now. We're not ready for the jersey. We don't care. You're gonna
The
bust out
jersey
this
was just like
statue.
city construction, just delay, delay, delay.
They're like people are just furiously knitting it, like, oh, we're not done yet. Um, yeah. So I think one little kind of like technical note I will say, observing this, like a lot of what happened this free agency, and I think Kelsey is a good place to start with it. Is a lot of players were cored
Mm-hmm.
and then traded.
Mm-hmm.
Or like not necessarily like a ton, but like a lot of players were. So I think those familiar with the NBA, it's like there's a lot of sign in trades. So a lot of money maneuvering, like teams being like, we will handle this financially. Now that we have signed you, we're trading you.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelsey was cored by the Aces before being traded, which I think was, I would assume was like, an important contingency to the trade happening, right? Because if you're Seattle, that means, okay, we have Plum for 4 years or whatever it is, right? So that's saying like we're gonna take Kelsey now, and we're gonna like have her be a major part of this franchise going forward, and we're not doing like a weird 1 year thing where we might lose her in a year. But yeah,
Right.
what like this is the end of like sort of like the. I mean, I think the Aces, by the way, are still going to be fantastic. Like Jewel Lloyd's amazing,
Yeah.
but this is the end of like the like. It seems like a personality era for the Aces, wouldn't you say?
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, it is because I mean, she was a pivotal part of their back-to-back championships, and now, they've lost one, and I mean, they lost in the semis. which I think is significant for them.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to be, you know, running it back with Jewel Lloyd. Also, Jewel Lloyd has spent her entire career with the Storm. Like
Yeah.
I think she's been there for, oh, I want to say at least a decade or 11 years, something like 10 or 11 years Jewel Lloyd has been um with the Storm. So I was surprised to see her leave also because they really they had that one, sort of down year post Sue Bird and Stewie, and then they re-upped with Agumake and Skylar Diggins Smith. And you thought, okay, like this team is rebuilding quickly and going places. And now they've lost Jewel Lloyd, which I think is an end of an era for Seattle too. But they're not down and out by any means either. So it's so wild. I don't really know how to react. Like I don't feel like I don't think the Aces got better. They just got kind of different. Juliet, I believe, struggled a bit last year, but is otherwise a phenomenal player. I think
Yeah.
Kelsey is really great too, but she's a bit of a streaky shooter herself. So I it's just different. I mean, the Sparks definitely got better, I would say, with the addition of Kelsey Plum, without question.
The Storm.
No, Kelsey Plum went to the Sparks.
Wait, Kelsey Plum.
Yeah, they didn't do the swap. We thought they were going to do the swap. They didn't do the swap.
Wait, so sorry. Okay, Jewel Lloyd. Oh, right, right. Of course, of course. Sorry, I just totally. I sort of got rattled by Sparks and Storm there for a second. Um, yes, yeah. I mean, I think the Sparks really like that's a pretty massive deal for them to have Plum. I just want to say though, how big of a factor do you think Jackie Young being incredible last year
Mm.
was this? Like,
Oh,
how
that
big
they're
of a
just like, we're going to lean harder on Jackie
just sort of
Young.
like, hey, Jackie's an Olympian, like, she's coming at a cheaper price right now, like we can sort of still
Well,
bring you talent.
yeah, and I think too, like Chelsea Gray, was really recovering from that injury. Like even in the second half of the season when she was back, like she wasn't really 100%, but she's looked really good in the unrivaled games that I've seen her play. So maybe they're kind of leaning on that also, right? Where it's like if Chelsea Gray can be the distributor and Jackie Young can either create her own shot or shoot, off the pass or whatever, then yeah, that does. And then Jewel Lloyd, I mean, my God, what that really does cover you around the perimeter for sure. So yeah, maybe they will be a lot better. I don't know. I imagine they'll just be different and still very good.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think different is a good way to put it. I feel like, Jewel Lloyd has a bit more she's like had her own offense, I think more than Plum has had because Plum was
Mm,
always obviously she's like a first overall draft pick and everything, and just like a been like a marquee player of the franchise. But Asia is this historic player, so like things are going to revolve around her to a certain degree. And where I think Jewel Lloyd, it should be interesting to watch Jewel Lloyd really be in a situation where she's going to defer quite a bit. I think
mhm.
she'll be exceptional, but also Plum's defense, right, is very, very special. So different, I think, is a good way to frame this.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that was the biggest move. And it's funny how like in the last episode we were like, that's not gonna happen. And then it very much happened.
Yeah, that writer nailed a lot, by the way.
Yeah, she really did. But I think even more happened. Like, can we talk about Alyssa Thomas to the Mercury?
Yeah,
What?
and then also Griner out of the Mercury
To the dream?
to the
What?
Dream and Mercury both winners in
And the
this
dog
free
keeps
agency.
getting startled every time I have a loud reaction to stuff. It's really anyway.
Aw, dog's like
Um
Mercury.
I'm just shouting out basketball player names, and she's like, "What?"
Honestly, your dog's gonna get used to that.
Oh yeah, I put on the beginning of an NBA game here and there, and it was like the in arena feed. So some
Mm-hmm.
like hip hop music was blaring, and then she just like perked right up, was staring at the TV. So she's gonna watch basketball with me for sure. But
Well,
yeah, I believe the entire starting five of the Connecticut Sun is no longer there.
yeah. So like we're gonna get a bit like so Bonner. Well, and we'll get to the Fever, by the way. That's
Hmm.
one thing that we're all over the place here, but that's one thing that writer was wrong about. She was like the Fever are going to be big losers. Absolutely
No, they
not.
were
The
big
Fever
winners.
crushed. But so Bonner Fever, Thomas Mercury, um, I'm already blanking out. Help me out.
I believe Dejanay Carrington went to the Wings. The list in front of us is so long that I have to tab to different pages.
Yeah, I know. I keep having to hit load more. Yeah, Carrington went. I was just looking at Carrington's name. Great podcasting on our part. No, but like, yeah, I agree. This is definitely, we were wondering if it was going to be, or I mean, at least I said with the 1 year, like, is everyone going to come back for 1 year? No, the Sun are done.
The Sun are so done.
The Sun are completely over, and this era is yeah, it's over for them. Really sad. Really. I feel for the those fans
Oh,
because
so just to clarify,
yes,
Dejanay Carrington signed a core contract with the Sun, but then was traded to Dallas.
yeah,
So
Thomas
that was
also
probably like a roundabout sign and trade type
exactly.
of
Like
situation.
Alyssa also signed a core contract
Yeah, yeah.
with the
I
Sun and then was traded to the Mercury.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got that right. But yeah, their entire core is gone. The Sun have definitely leaned into the rebuild. They're not going to be very good this coming season, but I bet they're eyeing someone like Juju Watkins or someone who might be eligible in the draft next year. Our two new franchises, Toronto and Portland, they're going to be like fourth and fifth or fifth and sixth, respectively, depending on what Kathy Engelbert decides. And then if you're at the bottom of the league, and the league feels like every team feels like it got kind of stronger, if not the same. Um, yeah, I think they've got a good shot at the number one pick next year, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will say to put some respect on the Sun's name, they did get Cloud. They did get Rebecca Allen. So, they got players.
Oh
But
yeah, they got Natasha.
J-
I forgot that they got Natasha Cloud, which is who is
JC Sheldon.
huge. I mean, I imagine they had to.
Mhm.
That was part of the Alyssa Thomas uh trade. But damn, they also signed Diamond DeShields, who I think
Yeah.
is a very
They
solid player as well.
they got
But
players. But
I mean, Natasha Cloud is amazing, but I still don't think this team is going to be like in the playoff bracket. I wouldn't suspect. I could be wrong, but I don't see it right now.
uh
I mean, think
also
about it. Like, well, Dallas didn't get better, right? But like the Fever got better, the Dream got better. The Sky, I feel more or less remain the same. They got Vandersloot,
yeah, I was gonna say
who I imagine
Vandersloot.
is going to do a bit of a retirement run with them.
Vandersloot, do a documentary, please. I really
Her little retirement
I
documentary.
want to see a Vandersloot doc.
Yeah.
Um. Also, I think we were wondering what was going to happen with Satu. And by the way, I want to shout
Hmm.
out a listener who hit me up with the correct pronunciation of Satu's last name, so I'm going to go for it. Sa Sabali. I think I'm
No, I
saying it
feel
right.
like that's what we were saying, wasn't it? I thought we were saying Satu Sabali, but it's Sabali. No, now I'm messing it up. This is
Okay,
what we
she
do to
she
each
gave me the
other.
phonetic breakdown. SAH
Yep.
dash BAH dash Lee. I read that as Sa Ba Lee.
Yeah, Sabali.
Sa
Am I doing it wrong?
Sa Ba Lee.
Sabali. Sabali.
Yeah, and we were saying Sabali.
Yes, that's right.
Sabali. Listen,
It is Sabali.
we are
Thank you, by the way. Thank you for that.
thank you for and honestly, hit us up with our please fill out our survey and grill us on pronunciations. Also, thank you for easing up on the tariffs. Um, it was a close one. Actually, I actually
I
know
mean,
to
it's
be
only for 30 days.
yeah. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, there's no tariffs on our podcast. I actually don't even know if this listener is American or not, but
Yeah, they might not be.
anyhow, yeah.
But you thanked them.
I thanked them anyways. Because I know
Projecting Canadian economic anxiety onto
this is what we do.
us.
This is what we do as Canadians. We apologize. We're sorry for everything.
That's true. That is very true. We are like that.
Yeah. So, but anyways,
So
Satu with the
Satu,
Mercury,
Sabali,
huge.
yes.
That's absolutely massive. Kalani Brown, just there. I think the Mercury are definitely Sammy Whitcomb. The Mercury are making a run at it.
Yeah, and a
100%.
part of me feels like, it could be Tarasi's last year. I think
Gotta be
it's
right.
got to be, and they've set themselves up really well for a future after Tarasi, but also getting her one more championship with that franchise would be absolutely incredible. And even if they don't, I think at the very least giving her a very good run at it is it's the thing to do. They've invested all this money into their facilities and stuff like that. They want to be a franchise going forward. I had this alarm on for 8 p.m. because I thought we were going to record at 8:30 and I take the dog out at 8. But regardless, she's fine. I think she's fine.
She's excited. She's excited about all the trade stuff.
She is. But I'm so excited for the Mercury. Like I mean, I still think the Liberty and the Lynx and the Aces are the strongest 3 teams in the league. But the Mercury have a lot to say about it, and they could very easily um enter that conversation, and I think they will. And I'm
I
going to be rooting hard for this team, even though, I will miss Brittany Griner with them, but I'm rooting hard for the Mercury.
I do think the Fever have entered the chat.
Oh,
The Fever,
but in replace of
I think
who? A top
I
4 teams?
I would put so I would put the Lynx and Liberty as like, sort of they're going to be
They're 1 and 2.
they're 1
1A,
and
1B
and then
easily.
I would put the Aces there as well. And who is the 4th team?
I was saying the Mercury are probably going to be that 4th team.
I think I would put the Fever ahead of the Mercury just because. So Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard, massive upgrades for the Fever. Massive upgrades. Like I really, really think that those are huge veteran gets.
I agree, and to your point, like who's the Mercury's center now? Like that was just a huge part of how they played for so long.
Yeah, I guess Alyssa Thomas.
Like who's their starting center? Are they going to get Dolson?
Please. By the way,
Our
also
girl
Sophie Cunningham to the Fever. Also big.
Yeah, she fits in there.
What does that mean? Farm strength?
We all know what that means.
We
Farmer strong Cunningham.
Yeah.
She fits in there. And you know what? Her and Kalia Copper need to not be teammates. I mean, it was great to see them as teammates,
They need to
Kumbaya,
be
blah,
on a
blah,
t-shirt
blah.
again. Yeah, exactly.
That's a t-shirt. Kumbaya, blah, blah, blah.
Kumbaya, blah blah blah.
Let's get a moment with those two again facing off. You know what? You are not wrong. I think the Fever are going to have something to say about it too, but it would be shocking if the Mercury were not top 4 with all this talent. I mean, come on, Alyssa it's get with Alyssa Thomas and Kalia Copper. Come on. Like it's going to be
stacked, yeah.
Yeah, they're stacked.
Like, it's gonna be shocking if they're not top 4, but you're right, it's gonna be shocking if any one of those teams aren't top 4. So now it's like, who's gonna slip? Is it gonna be bad injury luck, which you always hate to see? Is it gonna be a lack of chemistry on one of these teams? Like, who knows? But those teams are gonna be really exciting to watch, and I'm rooting hard for the Mercury because I love Taurasi, and it is her last season, and, you know, look, if she loses and kicks another door, I'm gonna be happy, but if she wins, I will also be very happy.
Yeah, me too. I have to
Um, yeah, go ahead.
I have to shout out the Dream here. I think that they are not a home court team, but I think they have put themselves in a position where they're not fighting for a playoff position. Like I think they're like a six or
Somewhere between
seven.
6 to 8, yeah.
Yeah, and like comfortably. Like I don't think they're going to be you know, this is such a snapshot take here, but I really think that the Mystics, the Sparks, I don't know about this, maybe not the Sparks actually, but like I'd say the Mystics, the Valkyrie, the Sun. I would
The
put
Sky aren't gonna be very
the
good, I
Sky.
don't
Sorry,
think.
yeah, for sure. Like of the now 13 teams in the league, I would put those.
Did they
That's the
lose, Kennedy Carter?
yeah. So Kennedy Carter went to the Valkyrie, who I
That's
think
right.
I'm reading a Bleacher Report or article or referencing it rather. And I think they made a good point. So it's like a winners and losers article, written by the very very talented Nikias Duncan. But yeah, I think the Valkyrie had the most money in the league, so maybe they're just being patient. So I'm not sure if it's how they frame this offseason for themselves. But this was an
Mhm.
opportunity to sort of make a mark. Like, you know, we talked about what the Valkyrie might do and, you know, the fact that they're in San Francisco and all this and all that. Players didn't really go there. And they also
Yeah, and
didn't,
with 2, like, new teams next year, I feel like that's just gonna be even harder.
especially with the way that it's structured, where they get the fifth overall pick 2 years in a row. Like they can't get the first overall pick next year. By the way, I mean we will get there, but how that's going to work for Portland and Toronto, I don't understand. So do they get this? You know, as a Toronto fan or a Portland fan, are we going to get the sixth or the seventh pick? We're going to be bad for such a long time.
Yeah, that's why I was saying
It's painful.
maybe they get 4th and 5th respectively, and they switch off.
Give me third. You know what I mean? I'll
I'll
take
give
it.
us 1st, but, you
Yeah.
know.
By the way, should we talk about Kia signing a 1 year because she's for sure planning on playing for the Tempo?
Oh, let's go. Kia
She's got to
Nurse,
do it.
Canada's own,
She's got to do it.
signed a 1 year
The Sky.
with the Sky.
Yeah. So she's just playing, not getting injured. Then she's going to sign like, I honestly hope we core Kia right away. Like just like nice, like it, honestly for marketing, for everything, just like a Captain Canada
Well, and then her and her
vibe would be
sister,
huge.
leads the, Toronto Scepters team, which is, the Women's Hockey League, PWHL. And then they would just be, like, running the city, basically.
Wait. Her sister is the commentator. Wait, what does her sister do for the Scepters?
Sarah Nurse, she plays for the team. She plays for the Toronto Scepters team.
Oh, you told me this before, and you also told me that. No, wait, I'm confusing you
You're
with other.
confusing me with someone else and then
I have a
something
friend who
else.
played. Yeah, I am. Okay, so you met Kia on the Hamilton steps one time.
No,
Like
I didn't meet her.
you were jogging or she was jogging, something like that.
Go on.
That's all I
I've
remember.
never met Kia Nurse,
But did she run
but
past you?
so when I during the pandemic, I was staying with my mom in Hamilton, and I guess that's where they're from, Hamilton, Ontario. And there Hamilton has, like, really large hills, waterfalls, things like that. And there's this, like, set of stairs that you can go up and down that I attempted one day and was just so exhausted out of my mind. Like I had to stop multiple times on the way up these stairs to catch my breath. And then like a day later, my mom showed me this article in the newspaper, the Hamilton Spectator, about how Kia Nurse runs up and down these stairs for training. And I was like, wow, that's how far away I am from being an athlete. But that isn't news, just perspective.
Just devastating.
Mhm.
Well, I have a friend I work with, Isabella, who played soccer against Kia, and she said Kia was just like so dominant that it was like terrifying.
Oh, wow.
Which makes sense. Like, you know, you like I feel as like these athletes are so incredible that there's often stories of them playing other sports when they were younger, dominating those sports as well.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think we fit a lot of stuff. Tina Charles to the Sun as well. Sammy Whitcomb to the Mercury. Lots of 1 year contracts, which is a lot. So many people
Yeah,
predicted, right?
everyone and their mother signed a 1-year contract.
Yeah, which I think also makes 2026 a pretty insane
Beyond,
free agency, right?
beyond.
That's going to be fascinating for, and maybe that, you know, maybe when you think about the Valkyrie and them striking out or whatever, a part of it might be the fact that they weren't going to try to spend all of their money now when everything's about to change financially.
When there's more money coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
it's hard for the players to plan, and it's hard for the teams as well to plan. So,
Mhm.
but it is made for an incredible free agency and trade season, and I think W season. Like, it's really I don't think the hierarchies completely change, but teams are going to. There's going to be some really fun sort of facelift scenarios for teams.
Mhm. And like, the Liberty, the Lynx, they pretty much stayed pat,
Yeah, the Liberty and the
at
Lynx.
least as far as their cores are concerned.
The Lynx think that they should have won. The Liberty did win, and both those teams, what they have is only getting better. So they're absolutely fine.
Yeah, like the only like major noteworthy thing was Vandersloot leaving, right?
Right.
Like I'm
But
going through this. Oh wait, so they've kept Natasha Heidemann, the Lynx, I believe. Yeah, I don't think they did anything major here. Not in the last couple days.
yeah, you know, they lost one player to the Valkyrie, like many other teams did. So I think,
Right, right, right. But beyond that, that's what I mean. Not in the last few days.
yeah, not in the last few days.
Um, Freddie, do we have any more thoughts before we move on to your fun question?
Not really. This is very just like a, you know, discombobulated time. So I think the dust is going to settle, and we're going to be able to see who the lineups are. I think we did a good job sort of highlighting who the heavy
Yeah,
hitters are,
it is
the
a
winners.
discombobulated bit, and we appreciate everyone. I've got a new dog. Your baby's about to turn 1 years old.
Woo!
Really exciting. Remy,
One.
who I haven't seen in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Little Remy here.
oh, there's my guy. Oh my god, he's still a baby, but he's like big baby, almost toddler zone.
Yeah, yeah. It's exciting.
New word
Exciting
today,
times.
open. Can say open.
Oh, the
Right?
new words
He's
are
got like
exciting.
17, 20 words, something like that.
What I love to do with my nephew, who will be 2 in April. So, soon actually. Um, like because his vocabulary, as their vocabulary gets bigger, I like to teach them words they absolutely cannot say. So
Oh, that's like discombobulated.
I'll say a word that I know he can say, like, can you say door? Can you say this? And then I'll be like, can you say asparagus? Like, can you
Cute.
say, and then he'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, can you say quantum physics? And then it'll be like, and I'm like, yes, good job.
Can you say interdimensional?
Yeah. It's
And
the best because they give it their all. They try to say it.
Like I'm just imagining the kid says it, and then they start to float, and you're like, shit. It's an alien.
Joke's on you, Dad. Ha
Joke's
pew,
on
pew,
you.
Pew pew.
Yeah, joke's on you. I'm the violent type of alien. Mars attacks. Peace. By the way, shout out Mars attacks.
I woke up the dog saying pew pew.
Zelda,
She's like, excuse me.
Zelda, get used to this. Okay.
Yeah, Zelda's gonna be lying on this desk with me twice a week until she's too big. And then she'll either sleep on the bed next to me or on the couch behind me.
Next pod, Remy's lying on the desk. JK, he's way too active. He would just be he
would just be running all over the place.
even when I have him in this like pod area, all he wants to do is like I have a bunch of toys around here for him, and he's like, cool. Let me rip down any wire.
Yeah.
And not just like rip it down, like throttle it. Good times.
Yeah. But okay, Freddie's fun question.
Freddy's fun question. Here we go. So recently at a NFL playoff game, Caitlin Clark and
Another jersey retirement. Shout out to Caitlin. She got her jersey retired too at Ohio State.
Oh, right. Wait, Iowa, right?
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's what I meant to say.
If it's Ohio, shout out.
We said football, and then I said Ohio.
Go on.
Yeah, we're
this is where we're at in life.
New parents. Here we go.
Puppies and babies.
But yeah, so she went with Taylor Swift. So
to the game. She's part of that. She's part of the crew.
She's part of the crew. Taylor Swift, Caitlin Clark, and it made me think like that's like a major power couple.
Mm-hmm.
So or like like a power like whatever the coy funny word for friend couple is. Frupple?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing? No.
Well, we're talking about pairs though.
We're talking about pairs. A pair, yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, what's a frupple? Is that like a bunch of people dating?
A throuple is like 3.
No, throuple. I said frupple, like FR.
Oh, that would be 4.
Yeah. So I'm just fucking. I'm just going. I'm going to a direction I don't even understand. A friendship, a power friendship. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to get out. Took me a bit. Still confusing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Catherine, who is a power friendship that you like that you think would be a good duo?
Okay, we've alluded to this on this podcast before, but in a slightly different context. So I'm gonna go here again because I want to will it into existence. That is Enrique Agumbawale and Guy Fieri. We need this to happen.
I love that in your old Guy Fieri could be part of a power friendship. And by the way, that's the world I want to live in, because
he's a huge basketball fan. He just only watches the NBA as far as I know.
Guy Fieri rocks.
But Enrique Agumbawale wears those Guy Fieri shirts with like the flames on it and stuff. So I want them to match up friendship style. Maybe they do a little cooking thing. Maybe she does the grocery game show thing.
Yeah,
maybe he just sits courtside in Dallas. Or he sits courtside in Vegas with an Agumbawale jersey. Power move for a power friend.
Power friendship.
That's my pick.
Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
It's classically Freddie insane.
Yeah.
Cameron Brink.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz. The Camerons.
I get it.
Right?
And they're tall and they're
They're
blonde and they're
tall. They
skinny.
could sort of look the same in profile.
Yeah, they could look related.
But I will say,
Like she could be Cameron Diaz's like niece.
yeah, I do think Cameron Diaz hasn't.
Honestly, you've
around
done
as
better.
much?
You've done better. I didn't laugh.
Okay, I tried.
I'd like to challenge you to do one more off the cuff here.
Ooh, off the cuff. Okay, I usually start with like a city and who would be.
Okay, I thought of another like whatever one that I'll just throw out here. This was my second one. As you think of another, so my other one was Angel Reese and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh wow, that would be fucking amazing.
Right.
That's the winning answer here.
I mean, they would be awesome together. That's
okay.
just a badass friendship.
Kennedy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Robert F. Kennedy.
You're an idiot. I hate this so much.
No, that would be. I honestly hope she.
I mean, they're not a Carter; they're a Kennedy. It doesn't even.
I just hope that she would beat him up. So yeah, they wouldn't be friends.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they would be more foes than friends.
No, I was gonna say Bridget Carlton and Bridgerton. But that's not.
I thought you were gonna say Carlton Banks.
The character. Shout out Alfonso.
I really thought you were gonna say Carlton Banks.
Okay. Let's see if I can pull one out of the hat here that's like actually in the Angel Reese.
Well, think of personalities. Don't think of just like the names.
I go straight to silly names. Then I gotta go with. Okay, I'm gonna go with Courtney Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Cisco. Both have the blonde look. Cisco would give Courtney the one-handed gloves. They could do their fingerless gloves, do some cartwheels. Some one-handed.
Yeah, maybe her dad will join their friendship.
She would be like, "Is Cisco my grandpa?"
Okay, that's at least that made me laugh.
Okay, I got it. I made Catherine.
I'm too real. I'm too real. I could have just been like, "Oh, ha ha ha." I'm too real.
Please do that laugh every episode.
Oh, ha ha ha.
That's good.
The dog looked up at me.
The dog's just like, I'm not even impressed.
She's like, what was that? All right, let's wrap it up there, I guess.
Yes. And just sort of repeating ourselves, but if you got some time, fill out the survey. We will post it with our pod on socials.
Yeah, super thankful for anyone who takes the time to do that. We appreciate it so much. And
yeah, as always, like, subscribe. We're so excited for this season. You know, I think it's this off season has even been more exciting than other off seasons. Like, yeah, the W is just in a different place than it was. So it's really it's going to be a good year. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Bye. Peace.